Hey guys, so let's talk about last night's episode of Once Upon a Time. Okay, you guys, you know how I feel about this whole Frozen storyline business. I'm kind of ready for that to be over. Now, next week's episode is 2 hours long because it's the winter finale, and I seriously have my fingers crossed that this storyline is going to get resolved. This episode as a whole was kind of like, there were bits of it that I liked, but some of it was a bit much for me. Like, I feel like we had characters doing things that were like uncharacteristic of them. So the Snow Queen basically allows herself to be arrested so that she can be alone with Emma. So a big chunk of this episode was that, the two of them having this conversation as Emma's supposed to be like interrogating her. But the Snow Queen is really trying to continue to plant those ideas that Emma is just like her and that the people in Emma's life are afraid of her and blah, 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 blah. Now, there were a few other little weird things that happened in the episode that made what the Snow Queen was saying kind of true to Emma. There was this whole bit with Mary Margaret and the baby where you got for a second that Mary Margaret didn't really want to let Emma hold the baby because she was a little scared because Emma's hand was glowing or something like that. The whole bit in tonight's episode where you had the Snow Queen pretty much convince Emma that she was a danger to everyone else and that everyone else was afraid of her, I was kind of annoyed by it, and let me tell you why. I just felt like it just kind of happened all of a sudden within 30 minutes. It wasn't like they've been planting the seeds of that along the way, and now boom, all of a sudden Emma is like, hey, maybe they are afraid of me. No, it was not that. It was like a couple little things happened, and then all of a sudden Emma's running off by herself. And I know that Emma has abandonment issues already. I mean, like times 10. But it just seemed like a pretty big jump to me, like in this episode where it was like, they were in the jail, then there was a hole in the side of the wall, and then Emma was like losing control of her power, and it was just weird. I don't know, it just was weird, and I didn't like it. Part of me feels like this little storyline is really just a building block for a bigger story that's going to play out in this 2-hour winter finale next week. I don't know, Mary Margaret was doing some crap that I just wanted to like smack her most of this episode. And also the fact that the Snow Queen was really able to convince Emma as quickly as she did. I mean, it just felt like no, like Emma would not fall for that. And so I think the fact that she did so quickly, that really kind of bothered me. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that story play out next week and hopefully to see the resolution of that. Now let's talk about some things that I did like in this episode. We got to see some flashbacks of the Snow Queen, and we get what happened to her, how she got trapped inside the magical vase. And I thought that was really interesting. I think it shed a lot of light on why she's so freaking crazy. I thought it was really deep too because, you know, there was the whole bit with her sisters and they all had the ribbons, you know, that they wore. And it was kind of like that point when they do go to see Rumpelstiltskin to try to find magic to help her, he really points out that they already have magic. Like they're wearing these ribbons and this power that they have as sisters, this power of love, really could be the thing that helps her, but she doesn't believe in that. So I find it kind of interesting that the Snow Queen is like obsessed with finding this family that will accept her when she really had that, and she was the one who kind of traded that in for the magical gloves and the magical vase that ended up, you know, being her prison for so many years. Let's talk Outlaw Queen, you guys, because that was definitely the best part of this episode. Robin just can't stay away, and I absolutely love it. We get that last week Regina told him, like, look, you need to fall in love with your wife again. That's the only way you're going to be able to save her. And I think Robin gets that. And during this episode, it was cool to hear him kind of talk about his past with Marianne and how he wanted to remember why he loved her. And even though he knows that Regina is right and he should do the right thing, there was still this moment in the end, of course, where he shows up and he grabs Regina and kisses her, and it's like, look, like, I know I should be doing the right thing, but I just can't. And the two of them are just so fantastic. I kind of love it. And one other little tidbit I want to talk about is Rumpelstiltskin. In the end, Rumpelstiltskin and the Snow Queen, the two of them kind of make this deal. She wants Rumpel to give her back the 3 ribbons that her and her sisters used to wear when they were younger. But of course, he doesn't want to give it away for free. And so she tells him she knows the last piece of the puzzle that he needs to be released from the dagger. We pretty much get that Rumpelstiltskin is trying to figure out a way to leave Storybrooke and do God only knows what. So yeah, I thought that was an interesting little tidbit, and that seems like something that's way too big for next week, so I'm sure we might be seeing more of that in the second half of the season as well. So yeah, overall kind of like, I don't know, a weird episode to me. I'm excited for next week. Can't wait to kind of see how the first half of the season ends up. And yeah, you guys, that is it for me this week. I would love to hear what you guys thought about this week's episode. Maybe you have a different opinion than mine. Let's talk about it down below in the comment section, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.